The screen flickered as a man typed his story into the computer. His mind was racing, and so was his heart. He wanted the world to know as soon as possible about what he had discovered. What lay ahead would nearly end his life. As he typed, he turned his head every now and then as though he was expecting something to attack him. His paranoid thoughts kept getting the best of him as he turned in a frantic movement, only to see the dark of his room. The power was out. For some odd reason, he didn't know. This only added to the fear he had. The shadows that came from the objects in his room made him feel crowded and small. He felt scared. He felt weak. He felt alone. A loud bang came from the hallway of his house. The sound of metal pots and pans clanging together filled his ears. He started to type faster and more frantically, so people could be aware of this thing. It was in vain. He had finished the first few paragraphs, but his fear got the best of him, and he could not continue. Instead, he hid in the darkest part of his room, covered, hoping, praying that this thing didn't find him. He saw what it had done to the others. He knew what would happen to him, and he knew that his chances of living were small. As he hid, he heard the breathing from this thing get closer, and he could hear the footsteps reaching his room. The door creaked open, and a small light from his candles he had placed shone into the room. He heard the door slam behind it, and the footsteps walk towards the computer. Something smashed against the wall directly above him. The object fell on his head and made a loud cracking sound. Though he was in conscience. Now he realized with anguish and shock that it was his computer. He heard the footsteps walk closer to him, the heavy dragging of its feet reaching closer and closer. His breathing grew more frantic and heavy as his head throbbed in pain. The footsteps stopped right in front of him, and then he heard no more. Almost as though it has vanished. He slowly pushed away the objects that hit him and opened his eyes. At first, he saw nothing. He felt relieved and let out a sigh. He jumped in shock as he heard a small chuckle from behind him. As his man turned his head, he uttered out a scream but never finished. He was completely silent from then on. His throat was slashed to keep him from screaming. His stomach was torn open and his internal organs were pulled out. The thing that tore him open had opened a pouch and added its organs into the already stuffed bag filled with various body parts. Before the man passed out, the thing stomped on his head with its ugly foot. His skull was smashed into bits. One of the quickest deaths it has done. The next morning, there was no trace of him. No blood, no body parts, not even the computer. He had simply vanished. I witnessed this event from my house next door. And I know that soon it will come for me. And it comes for anyone who knows of it. To the next person that reads about this, to the next person that reads this story, to the next person that reads this, and to the next one that listens to this, you live, my friend. For as I type this, and I read this, my own type